Well, my memory card filled up, so I had to listen to parts and I had to delete some things. Um, so then I see my grandpa, um, and he had been married to my grandma like 40 years when she died. I think it was like a few months short of 40 years. How? Like, how do you deal with that? Like, these people got married when they were like 19. You know, like their whole lives had like more years than that had been together than when they were even alive before. You know, how how do you deal with that kind of loss? You know, and my grandma was there. My grandpa had died, and she'd been remarried about maybe 14 years. Like, how do you recover from that? Like, at what point can you be with somebody else and then go to these family functions? And as much as I love these people that, like, I care about these people that my grandparents have married, you know, and their family in their own right. But how do you go and then think all these things that, like, when you thought, oh, someday my grandson will get married, and you think, well, it's going to be this person I've been married to all these years, that's the person that's going to be next to me. And when they're a little baby, you know, and you look at them and you think, oh, all these things that I'm going to see along the way as they grow up. And of course you see this person with you because it's your grandkid, you know. And how do you how do you go to these things with somebody knowing that for a good chunk of your life there was somebody very different that you wished that you are intended to be with you on that day. Whew. Like, it blows my mind thinking, like, and how could you be that person knowing that other people really, really wish that that other person was there instead? Like, even if they do really care about this new person. Because, like, my great aunts were there, and I don't know how they feel. I can't put words into their mouth, you know? I don't know how they feel about my grandpa's new wife. But how would it feel for them to see her and think, God, like, that's not our sister, you know? And to not wish that their sister was there instead of that person. Do you know what I mean? It's these strange dynamics that I'm really picking up on, I think, as I get older. Not strange dynamics, but these dynamics of human interaction and family and love and what makes family. And I was thinking at my great aunt's, the little kind of reception, little dinner thing that I don't know if every family does it, but that all of my family does after a funeral. I saw, like, my second cousins, and I thought, wow, when we were little, our big extended family got together for everything. And it got to be so much that we couldn't do it anymore. And then I'd look at these kids that are like maybe 10 years younger, and I think, like, they don't know this whole family and the great aunt, all the older people, they don't know them in the same context I know them. And that myself and the other people of that same kind of generation, even though we're all the same generation, there's, like, very much a big age gap. But I look around at them and I think, God, like, do we have to keep meeting like this? Like, all we do is bury people, you know? And, like, we just keep coming together for, like, funerals. And maybe, oh, God, I can't think of the last thing since a funeral. Oh, wedding anniversaries, things like that. And then I see one of them had a little kid, and I just thought, God, like, someday there's going to be a whole generation of people that don't know who we're talking about when we think about our childhood and our family. And like maybe like what makes family is there's different types of family, because I have people who I consider my family, but there's this whole aspect, dynamic is what I mean, of a certain type of your family, certain family members that like you get together and you bury your dead, and how like like old-fashioned barbaric clan like is that, that you would get together, and I think like we've let these traditions for funerals and everything stifle actually dealing with death. Because like, what if we had to bury them with their most prized possessions, and we dug the hole, we buried them, Like, what sense of like kinship would you have in a way that you don't have now? Or maybe you do, because I picked up on it, this idea that these are the people with whom I gather to bury our dead loved ones, I'm thinking like about a lot of weird stuff and sentimental stuff, and I think really trying to come to terms with who my family has been to me, and who all these people are, and what I get from that, and what part of me that is, and trying to reconcile that with the fact that I might lose them, and I might not be welcome at these events anymore, and how that own part of me is dying. And how even these getting together for funerals, getting together for weddings, like these are big things, and to not be able to take part in that, not to be there, and not to have them there, not to have these familiar faces that are supposed to be there at times like that. And I think sometimes the closer I get to my family, the harder it is for me to think about really going through a transition. I think that's what's held me up for a long time, is I can't lose them, and I keep thinking just a little longer. They'll come around, and then they'll be in a position where they will love me unconditionally. And I just keep waiting and waiting, And then today went so well, and it had been so rocky. And I thought, well, this is it. This is the last time I'm going to talk to them. I'm free. Like, I don't have to, nobody has expectations of me anymore. But we had a good day, and I love them, and I want to talk to them. And, it really breaks my heart thinking that I might have to make a decision to do something that's going to make them not want me around anymore. And sometimes that seems like a really easy decision to make, like when I'm mad at them, and where they're being really mean. But then there's times where I just want to hold on to whatever chance there is, and it's really hard to find where my happiness can fit into that. And it makes me question how much of it is just attachment, how much of it is healthy attachment, or unhealthy for that matter, and how much is I don't know, just thinking too much. So I just want to make that video, I think mostly to document my own thoughts on it.